Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another video. This is going to be a weekly analysis breakdown BTC, gold, silver, and I'm going to be talking about why explain the reason why I am stopping BTC trade, or why I am letting go of BTC. Now, there's something that we have to understand about these two markets. Now, this is something that actually it has not always been like this, right? It actually started, I think, a couple of months back when we started noticing that each time we have an impulsive move, let's say on gold, for example, right? We normally have almost similar kind of move, but in the opposite direction on BTC. Now, it doesn't really matter when this happens. It doesn't really matter whether both of these pairs are actually bullish on the, let's say, on the daily time frame or the 4 hour time frame. But this kind of affects swing positions. You know, let's say for example, when you take you take a buy position on gold, right? Gold is bullish on the larger scale, let's say on larger time frame, and BTC is also bullish on the um, larger time frame. Now, let's say during New York session, when we start to see BTC trend upwards, all right, on the 1 hour time frame, we tend to see gold dipping on 1 hour time frame. Now, this kind of bring a lot of contradiction when you are in a long position on both pairs. So you start to see a scenario whereby you make money from this pair and you lose it to the other because psychologically it kind of affects you. So that is one reason why I am going just for gold and also using silver as a substitute. Now, the reason I'm using silver is because silver actually correlates directly with gold. If gold is pumping, silver is pumping. Now, they might not pump at the same time, but if you, let's say, for example, you're in position on both pairs, right, it makes it a lot easier because you know that if the market is against you, it's against you on both of your trades. If it's for you, if the market is in favor of your trade, it's in favor of both of your trades, all right. And this psychologically kind of helps you to navigate through swing position and day trade and stuff like that. Now, let me just show you something. Like yesterday being Monday, um, if you're watching this video from the Source Signal group, yesterday being Monday, you will know that we expected. Let me look at the other charts. I think we actually have news. Fed share is speaking, I think, in a couple of minutes from now. So I think this is really going to have impact on the market. But regardless of that, we're still going to break down draw analysis. Now, if you remember yesterday on Monday, we waited to get a setup from somewhere around this zone. I think no, that was somewhere around this zone over here. Now we did not get this setup over here on gold, right? But if you head over to silver, XAGUSD. So actually taking two trades on silver this week, both of them hitting TP. So we had the setup right here on silver. Now they move hand in hand. So if, for example, let's say you are getting set up on both sides, and one of them is giving you is not giving you a clear setup, let's say on a 5 minute time frame, 15 minute time frame, while the other one is giving you a clear setup, it is most likely that you can take the other one. Like, all right, so they move hand in hand, they correlate a lot. Like if you check the 4 hour time frame, you see that they are similar movement. This is silver and this is gold. So you don't have that problem you have when you are trading BTC and gold, whereby, for example, if your bias when you wake up in the morning is bullish, all of a sudden, let's say for example, BTC starts to pump, then you start to see gold dropping. It kind of messes up a whole lot of things. As a trader, you have to grow. This is part of the journey. It's part of your development, all right, when you are your journey towards becoming profitability. So you don't always have to rely on what you know from year one. This is my second year in trading, and the changes I've made along the way has actually aided me to get to where I am today in terms of mastering the technical. So that is basically some of the reason why we are quitting BTC. Now, another reason why I'm also dropping BTC is the reality that you can't overlook. Now, since we started noticing in a lot of financial institution intervention in crypto, the market hasn't really been the way it has always been. All right, I'm talking from experience because I know how BTC normally reacts to like Q zone, certain patterns during New York session, but that is not that no longer happens that much on BTC unless you're using like the 4 hour time frame or daily time frame. So, um, but still, I'm still going to be breaking down the market, all right, for those who still trade BTC. So basically, let's just take a look at BTC, then head over to the pairs that we are trading for this week. By the way, if you're watching this video, just hold your swing position on gold, no matter what the news, what this guy, this good afternoon guy says over here. Let's just hold our position and see how it goes. So this is basically what BTC looks like. Now these are the two levels that if I'm to take swing position on BTC, these are the two key levels I'm looking at, this demand zone and this demand zone over here. Now I already told you guys about the new strategy which I'm using right now on gold, and it also works for BTC as well, especially if you're using the higher time frame. So if you're using that strategy, you're expecting BTC to either drop to this level or you're expecting BTC to react to this level, which already did over here. But if you if you take a closer look at this level over here, you see that on weekly time frame we had this fair value gap over here, and price has failed to close above this fair value gap. So what that simply means is that we are going to see BTC do something like this, come to take out this liquidity over here, maybe tap into this trend line before the continue upwards. Now this is one move you might be looking out for. Like I said, this is the weekly time frame. So this might not happen tomorrow, it might not even happen this week. It might take a couple of weeks or a couple of days for this to come to pass. Then the second move you want to look out for is BTC breaking, taking out this liquidity, tapping into this FEG over here, or tapping into this neckline, then hitting this trend line, then continue upwards. So this whole period might take a month or two. Don't really know, but I don't advise taking day trades or trying to long the markets right now. The best thing is to wait for market to come down to strip this, or unless you have a very good 4 hour sell setup, then you can sell the market down to 105 or 105. But I strongly believe that BTC is going down to 104, 105, all right, in the coming weeks. So that's basically my expectation for BTC. And yeah, so let's over to gold, which is our main focus for, sorry, which is our main focus for this week. Okay, let me just use an empty chart. So this is the weekly time frame of gold. As you can see, we are currently on the uptrend. So whatever you are doing with gold right now, you just have to keep selling. Now let's head over to the 4 hour time frame and see what is happening with gold. Now before we do anything, I want to remove this. So we're already in a swing position on gold, which we took here this morning. TP1 already taken. Now we're expecting a retracement. So where should we expect this retracement to? Now I'm expecting this retracement to come, let's say, somewhere down to this level for you to start looking for buy in terms of position. Then there's another key level over here. Then we also have another key level over here. But I don't really think gold is going to come down all the way down to this level. The worst thing I think gold can do is come down to around 3750. Then you get some kind of reaction over here. Now if you're still using or use smart money, you go down to the 1 hour time frame, you will see that this area can actually act as a very strong demand zone. All right, this could also serve as another zone, though you might want to pay more attention to this level. Though, like I said, I don't know what this news, what this picture, what the effect is going to be. But whatever it is, these are the key levels you want to be looking at for. So you want to look at this area and see if you can take some trades over here. Or if the news happens to um, pump the market, then definitely you will now see something like this. Then wait for a retracement then before you take a trade. In that way, it will not make this area over here a demand zone you should be looking out for. So this is basically what um, you want to be looking out for if you are using smart money. But the new strategy I use, if I'm to look out for positions, this is just basically how I'm going to leave my charts and wait for price to retrace to this key level. So though we're already in a swing position, so we're still holding that position. If it takes us out, then we wait for another swing entry. Now, if you also take a look at silver, silver is still the same thing, still in the uptrend. Like I said, the good thing about combining these two is that you tend to have just a single bias of the market whenever you come to the market. So you're not thinking buy here, then sell on the other chart. You're just thinking buy, 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 buy. So over here we have some trend lines. We also have some key levels that price might retrace to. So I don't think price is going to come down to this level this week. But this level over here is a level I'm very, very interested in for silver to retrace to, then maybe taking swing trade or something like that. So that's basically all for silver. It is still buy, 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 and buy. Another thing to also look out for is just in case, just like gold, just in this immediate trend line, I think that was created from last week fails, then you might want to look out for price to somehow make its way to that trend line. All right, then you can look for a buy opportunity. If you take a look at gold, you will also see the same pattern over there. You see the same trend line. This is an old trend line. Then this is the one created. So this is the one created as from last week, as of last week. So you also want to be looking at this. So this is basically what I'm looking at gold, just some retracement and continuation, nothing really much. But another thing we also have to look at, remember I told you guys that in my previous video I talked about how far that breakout we had on the weekly time frame could go, and we're currently in that zone. But just like I always tell people, you don't have to assume the top of the market, because the market has no top, it has no bottom. So you only have to trade what you see. I told you guys that from our previous video that anywhere around 300, 3,800, all right, to 3,750, which is where we are right now, is where should be the end of that breakout. I think let me just map out that breakout again and remove all the drums, then help us map out that breakout once again. So if you can see, if you have to take the measurements of that ascending triangle, which was the breakout, if you have to map it like this, I told you guys normally take the very first leg over here. As you can see over here, that is where we are right now. So this is where technically we should expect retracements from the market. But like I said, you can't predict that, especially when it comes to gold. You can't really predict the top. You can only try to predict targets, but you can't predict where the market is going to reverse from, especially when market is creating all-time highs like this. All right, so the only thing is to keep trading what you see until you are proven wrong. So if we happen to see the market rejecting massively from this level, then simply means that price is going to go to the next psychological level, which is 3,600. Then we also go down to 3,600 and start looking for other key levels to take buy position. So that is basically what we're looking out for gold. So let's see how it goes this week, guys. Take care and have a lovely trading week ahead.